Okay. So we completed all the basic setups in the last session. Now we'll see how to create asset in the fixed assets through manual process, which we call as manual additions. So go to navigator. So within the navigator, look for fixed assets. Expand. We assigned FA roles to user called asset accountant or asset accounting manager. Because of those two roles, we are able to access to fixed assets, the specific task called as assets. Click on assets. So we are able to access to the ERP tree corporate book based on the data access which we provided to this user. We are able to see the period called as August 25, 2025. So this is the period we selected within the corporate book as a current period. When you say current period, current open period, that's how system will take. So this page we call as asset workbench. We can call it as asset workbench. So when you create assets, you can see those assets within the additions info tile. These are the different tiles which will display the relevant information. If you have access to more than one asset book, here the switching would be available. Since we have access to only one asset book, it is displaying as by default. And if you have access to more than one asset book, you can change from one book to another book. Here you will get drop down value. Additions, the assets what we create when data will come from tables to FA, master registration interface tables, from project costing to FA master registration interface tables, the data which is available in master registration interface tables, you can see from this additions info tile. Then we can perform the prepare master registrations and post master registrations. If you do any sort of adjustments to assets, say you are changing cost or you are changing asset life or you are changing any other aspects of information related to asset, that changes, the adjustments will reflect within this adjustment info tile. Yes, we can transfer assets from one location to another location, one employee to another employee, one expense account to another expense account. Employee, expense account, location. These three we call as asset assignments. So assets can be transferred between the locations, between the employees, between the expense accounts. So such kind of transfers will reflect in the transfers info tile. When you perform the retirement, the retirement related activities will reflect in the retirement section. And the depreciation, so for which period you are going to calculate the depreciation, that you can see. And once you click on this depreciation info tile, below you can see the details, how many assets are created. Accordingly, you can calculate the depreciation. So these all info tiles, you can just see if any data is pending related to that. So you created 10 assets in FA, you don't see those 10 assets under additions. You will see the data which is available to create as a addition. And when you are performing the adjustments, when you initiate the adjustment, that data you can see in the adjustment section. Once adjustment will complete, you don't see any adjustment related data within this info tile. The same is applicable for remaining info tiles also. So when you are performing, if any action is pending related to additions, adjustment, transfers, retirements, depreciation, the pending task you can see under relevant info tile. This page itself we can call as asset workbench. Asset workbench, where you can create and manage asset related information by taking various actions. Now, we'll see how to create asset through manual process. We discussed when you create asset, we can create asset with the basic information that we call as quick addition. Yes, we can create asset with more detailed information that we can call as detailed addition. Let's see how to create quick and detailed additions. So go to task list and we have one task called as add asset under transactions. Under transactions section, we have one task called as add asset. Add asset, nothing but asset addition. Click on add asset. So the current user got access to only one book. The same book is defaulted here. Which type of asset we are going to create? Capitalized asset. And we want to create asset in which category? So select category. So we have major and minor category values in the relevant value sets, but whatever the combinations we created as asset categories, only those categories we can use. Only asset categories by combining major and minor, whatever the categories we created, only those categories we can use here to create the asset. Just click on search, select major and minor category combination. We have one major value which we created for our testing. It starts with the ERP tree. Select. Now we have two minor values for this major value. We created asset category only for building and office building, not for shopping complex. If you try with the shopping complex, the system will throw the message saying that this combination cannot be used. Reason, it is not created in the system. Values are available, but we didn't create asset category. So we created asset category. So asset category we created only for the combination called as, one second. Only combination called as ERP tree building and office building. With this combination, we have asset category. Now, if you say OK, this combination system will allow, since asset category is available with this combination. Now provide the asset description. Provide asset description. Say Oracle building. Enter cost for the building. So I'm entering 10 lakhs. Number of units. So how many buildings or how many units you treat? The building is how it is established. So by default, system is taking one, you can accept. The expense account. When you calculate the depreciation for this building, what we are going to create, the depreciation amount need to be posted to which account? That account system is defaulting. From where this account is defaulting? From the category. So while we created category, we provided many accounts. So one of the account is expense account. So that account system is defaulting from category. Only account it is deriving from category. Rest of the segments we have to provide relevant values. Select company, select department. Just pick the values for rest of segments. Say okay. Now location. So already Oracle created location, structure, instance, and within the relevant value sets, values are available. The same we can use. If it is a fresh instance, how to create location key flex fill structure instance, we already tested, and we know very well how to create the values within any value set. Now click on search, and here select country. So this is as per the structure what Oracle created as a sample structure for location key flex fill in the test environment. So you select country and select state, city, building. Instead of selecting each and every value, click on search. You can find all existing combinations and pick any one of the combination. Say okay, select and say okay. Now, if I click on submit, based on these inputs, system will create asset that we call as quick addition. It means we entered basic details. Okay, we entered basic details. With the basic details, system will create asset. Right. Quickly we'll finish. Just it is a pop-up. It is closing automatic. Say okay. Oracle building. Search for the combination available, select and select location. Now, if you click on submit, based on these inputs, system will create asset that you can call as quick addition. The basic information, if you create asset that you can call as quick addition. If you click on next, it will take us to another page. That page level you can add additional information that you can call as detail addition. Additional details you can add and you can create asset that you can call as detail addition. If you click on submit, now assets will be created by system. If you click on next, it will allow us to add additional details for this asset record. Okay, so click on next. Right. Now here you can provide the details. So asset number, it's a freeze. That means in the system controls, if you enable the checkbox, prevent users entering asset number, it will not allow. If you disable the checkbox in the system controls, we can enter the asset number here. And we can provide the additional details. Descriptive details means additional details. Based on the applicability, you can provide the tag number, some serial number, manufacturer, if it is a plant, and model and property type. All the details you can specify. We have asset key flex field. If you want to capture asset key, yes, you can select specific key. So within the asset key value set, you can maintain all the values. You can choose whatever required. Just for testing, you can pick any value. And here we can notice asset assignments, location, depreciation expense account, employee. These three attributes we call as asset assignments. And here we have a financial details section. Just expand it. Now we can see what are the information we given in the category level. While creating this category, what are the details we given, the data is defaulting here. So depreciation method, asset life in years and months, and category creation type. The category level, we have one checkbox called as depreciate. The same is defaulting here. For this specific asset, if you don't want to calculate the depreciation, you can disable it. So after creating this asset, system will not calculate the depreciation. So this is how you can disable the depreciation for specific asset. Say for example, so this is the category we are using. With this category, whatever the asset we create, depreciation should not be calculated. If that is a requirement, the category level itself, you can disable the depreciation. With this category, if you create any asset, since you disable depreciation checkbox at category level, for every asset within this category, system will disable the checkbox. That means within that category, for all assets, no depreciation will be calculated. For specific asset, if you don't want to calculate the depreciation, so asset record level or during the asset creation process, you can disable the checkbox. So that's how you can turn on or off depreciation at asset level or category level. And the category level we given prorate convention, the same system is defaulting here. So we not yet calculated any depreciation. That is the reason we don't see any depreciation amounts. Okay, we don't see any depreciation amount. And you have a different tabs. You can see the relevant information which is applicable. Mostly you see the key information under general tab. So this is how you can review the complete information. If you want to add any details, yes, you can add. After adding all the details, click on submit. Now within the additions info tile, we can notice one asset is ready to post. We no need to post. It is in the process. Already discussed, which is pending, it will display in this info tiles. Now it is pending to convert as asset. We no need to take any action. Automatically system will convert this record as asset. Just refresh this page. Click on assets. Now we don't see any record which is pending. That means that is converted as asset. So we'll go on to make an inquiry to understand how many assets we have. Go to task list. Under general section, we have one task called as inquire assets. If not from here, go to navigator. Under fixed assets, we have one more task called as asset inquiry. Click on asset inquiry. From this page also you can inquire the assets. So let's go back to assets task. Click on inquire assets. So within this corporate book, how many assets we have, we want to understand. And provide additional filter criteria. If you know the asset number, enter asset number. If you don't know the asset number, so specify the category name. Our category name, major category value starts with ERP tree. Search with this category within this book. If any assets are available, we can see. So yes, this is the description we given. This is the name for asset we given as Oracle building. Asset type is capitalized. Asset is available within this category. And for testing purpose, we selected asset key. While creating asset, we didn't select any attachment, any document related to that asset. So no document we attached. And here is the asset number which system triggered based on system control setup. System control level, we have asset number specification. Based on that, system created numbering for this asset. Now this asset we have in which corporate book? Here we can see. And which type of book this is? Corporate. This is just name what we can give. This is the classification for system understanding. Yes, asset type is capitalized. Again, here also within this book, this asset is within this category. The asset cost is 10 lakhs. And rest you can see the depreciation reserve, etc. once you calculate the depreciation. So once you start calculating the depreciation, you will see the net book value will keep changing. YTD depreciation reserve means total depreciation we can find. So within this asset record, you can see the relevant information under financials tab. Under financials tab, you can see what is the original cost of this asset and what is the current cost. Original cost and current cost. Yes, there will be difference between this once you start calculating the depreciation. If you calculate 1 lakh depreciation, the original cost will remain 10 lakhs. The current cost would be 9 lakhs. The 1 lakh will be posted to depreciation account. And here we can notice what is the prorate convention is applicable. And from when we started using this asset, since it's a capitalized asset in service date. Okay, today date system selected as a date placed in service. In service date means date placed in service. So today date system is taking, you can see the depreciation method, life in years, all the details you can see here. Now go to source lines. Now within the source lines, you don't see from where it is coming. The reason this asset directly we created within the FA application. If the asset is coming from payables or projects, or if the asset is coming from spreadsheet, you can see the details here. Okay, you can see the source. The source field will display tables or projects or spreadsheet. So we created this asset directly within the fixed assets through manual addition process. So now you don't see any source line. It is created within the FA. So this is how just you can review the asset record. You can click on this depreciation info tile. So we can notice within this month, one asset is created. Completed additions, one. So just click on the one, you can see that asset also. View accounting. We didn't submit any create accounting. If you submit create accounting, this system will create accounting entry for this asset for the event called as addition. Addition related accounting entry system will create. And here again, you can just go to manage all books. So for how many books user got access, all the books related information the user can see from here. So within this corporate book, only one addition is available. And you can see any assets are retired. Okay. And mass additions, last run. This is all the details you can see in this page. And here there are many other tabs also. See pending transaction. There could be something pending as a part of adjustment or transfers, retirements, and other activities. You can see within this manage all books. Okay, pending additions, post, prepare, assign, prepare. So when you start working on those activities, accordingly data will reflect. So that's how we can create asset through manual process, which we call as manual additions. So we reviewed these details, right? We have seen asset name, that is nothing but description, asset number, system is triggering, asset category. Every asset should belongs to a specific corporate book. We reviewed asset cost, asset life, depreciation method. As a part of asset assignments, we have a depreciation expense account. As a part of asset assignments, we have a asset location, employee, and prorate convention. Also, you can just verify source lines to understand from where the line is sourced to create the asset. We'll see how to create asset through spreadsheet. How to create asset through spreadsheet. Go to task list. Here is the task called as add assets in spreadsheet. Click on the same. And system is defaulting the corporate book and asset type as a capitalized. Say go. Spreadsheet is downloaded. Open it. So this spreadsheet is ADFDA spreadsheet, which can connect to the instance to fetch the data to create asset. Say connect. Provide login credentials. Skip. Okay. So create asset additions. So from this spreadsheet, you can create the assets. Interface line number, provide unique number. Yes, we are going to create asset within this corporate book. Asset type is capitalized. And Q name. If you keep Q name as a new, we will send this asset line to FA. From FA, we can convert that line as a asset. If you want to create asset directly from the spreadsheet with one-step process, select Q name as a post. If you set Q name as a post, you can enter all the details in this spreadsheet. Once you submit, directly asset will be created within the system, within the FA application. If I set Q name as a new, after entering all the details, we'll go to create asset additions tab. So we'll click on submit. Only this line will be submitted to FA. From FA, we can review the data. Then we can perform the action called as post. We can review and submit, or else directly from here, if you want to submit, we have to use Q name as a post. Keep it as new. If you keep as a post, you have to click on post so that asset will be created. If you keep as a new, you click on submit so that this line will be submitted to FA. From there, you can review the record, and if any changes, yes, you can perform. Then finally you can post. Posting means creating asset. Keep the Q status as a new, and here write the description. Description is nothing but asset name. Like cloud building, and provide category. Okay, provide asset category. So double click. This spreadsheet is tightly connected with our instance. You can access the data from the instance. Search, select, say OK. So yes, with these two values, we have a category created. Say OK, and just click on OK. Now we can see the major category value populated in the major category field, the minor category value populated in the minor category field. But in few instances, it may not happen in this way. This is how it is expected. In some instances, when you practice, the two values system will place in one field. If that is the case, you segregate those. So when you select those major minor values, system may paste those two into one field. So you separate major category value into major category field, minor category value into minor category field. So provide date placed in service. If you look at the date format here, what is the date format? The month and the date. The month, date, year. So provide the format, date format as required, and cost. Say 5 lakhs. Enter number of units. 1 unit. Provide location for the asset. Double click. Just say yes to that message to close it. Click on search to find out existing location combinations and select any one of the location combination and say OK. Employee is not mandatory. Location and expense account are mandatory when you talk about assignments. Now provide depreciation expense account. You provide depreciation expense account. Just double click. Say yes. Now select billing depreciation account. So billings depreciation. Now with this account, if any combination is available with our company 1000, check yes, available, select. Say OK. Even same point is applicable for this account code combination. In some instances, if the combination is not properly populating in the respective segment field, manually you can input. Okay. This clearing account is not required. Just look into other details. You no need to enter the details for all the fields. So we have seen how to create asset. So whatever the data we provided, the same data is required. Rest system can default. The depreciation method, asset life, all the details it can default from the category. Okay. Yeah. So completely optional fields. Now queue name is new. The queue name is new. Since queue name is new, go to create asset additions. Click on submit. Click on submit. If you set queue name as a post, go to create asset additions, click on post. From here, directly system will create asset in FA. We don't want to create asset in one step. We want to create asset in two steps. First, we want to send this record to FA application. Within the FA, we want to review. Then we want to convert that record as asset. If that is a requirement, select queue name as a new. Then go to create asset additions and click on submit. Say OK. Now refresh this page. Now within the additions info tile, we have one incomplete record. We have one incomplete record. So below you can see which record is that. Cloud billing. Okay. Cloud billing. Queue name is queue name you can say or queue status you can say. Queue name or queue status is new. Now this record is populated in FA master addition interface tables. From that spreadsheet, The data will be imported into FA mass addition interface table. Now you can perform the prepare mass addition. Prepare mass addition means if any additional details, if you want to add to this record, you can do that. If no data is required to add, at least you can change the status from new to post so that this record can be converted as asset. How to do that? Select this record, go to actions, click on edit. Select record, go to actions, click on edit. The queue status is new. If you want to convert this record as asset, change queue status from new to post. Change queue status from new to post. Now make sure all the mandatory data is available. If required, you can do the changes. You can do the required changes. No changes required. If you want to add asset key, map any asset key here. Say OK. Here for testing, we are selecting random key. Based on the business requirement, they can just give the scenario when they want to add the key, when they don't want to add the key. Accordingly, they can use it. Now click on save and close. So primarily what changes we are doing, we are changing the queue status from new to post. Now click on save and close. Now you can notice within the additions, there is a one record which is ready to post. Ready to post. When it is ready to post, here you don't see any tab related to post. To find the tab here to post this record, click on ready to post hyperlink. Now post all is enabled here. Directly you can click on post all, or you can select the record, click on post all. When you click on post all, this record system will convert as asset. Posting means converting as asset. Click on post all. Once this record turned into asset definition, you don't see this record in the asset workbench. Now, no record is available. It means system created asset. By clicking on this depreciation info tile also you can understand. See, two assets are there. Click on this two. One is Oracle billing, which we created through manual process. The cloud billing we created from spreadsheet. Go to asset inquiry. Search with the category. So select cloud billing. Go to source lines. Now this asset record we sourced from where? That you can see here. We sourced from spreadsheet. Since it's a ADFDA sheet that we are calling as Oracle spreadsheet. So that's how we can create asset from spreadsheet. This ADFDA spreadsheet. You can create multiple assets at a time. You can enter multiple rows, each row for one asset. So that's all about manual additions undo asset creation using spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is ADFDA spreadsheet. Now let's talk about mass additions. So we'll create asset lines in AP or call as asset invoice in AP. And it's mandatory we have to complete the accounting for that invoice. To create accounting, anyway, validation is mandatory. So we account it. Once invoice is accounted, then that invoice related lines you can transfer to FA. There we can add the details which we call as prepare mass addition. Finally, we can convert that record as an asset. We'll see the same. So we'll go and create asset invoice in the payables application. Switch to payables. Go to task list. Say create invoice. Select supplier. Provide invoice number. Invoice amount, say 25 lakhs. Enter line information. So we are going to create the single line. Enter total invoice amount in one line. Now, so which account we have to provide here? The account which is asset account you have to provide. And we have many asset accounts. Which account we have to provide? Go to category. So select our corporate book to find out all the categories which are associated with the same corporate book. Search. Now one category is associated with that corporate book. Click on edit. Now, within this category, we have one account called as asset clearing account. So this account we have to provide in the AP invoice line level. Okay, we have to provide this account. Asset clearing account. System will check. If you want to transfer that invoice from AP to FA, the account is matching which you are providing in the AP invoice line level and the account which is there in the FA category level. It will cross check. So whatever the asset clearing account we have within the AP FA category level, the same account we have to take within the invoice line. Now just select the same account here. Go to accounts. Search for asset clearing account. Say OK. With this account, already we have account code combination within the FA. You can search and use the same here. Say OK. So account is matching what is available in the category as asset clearing and what we provided within the invoice line level. So this line can be transferred to FA. And here you see one tab called as asset click on asset tab, and we have one checkbox called as track as asset. We no need to specify track as asset. We no need to tell to the system, please identify this line is belongs to asset. No. Account type is asset, and that account already is available in the FA application. System can understand. The system can understand. We no need to specify anything. Now go to distributions. So line level, we give an asset clearing account. And go to view, columns, say show all. Now here is the tab called as asset. Click on asset. If you want to specify, you want to send that line to which book, you can provide the book. Another point you can notice, distribution level system is enable the checkbox as a track as asset. How? System identified that this account is belongs to FA application and it is there in the category. Even if you are not enabling at line level, distribution level, the line or account is tracked as asset. It is tagging. And you can specify you want to transfer this line to which corporate book. You can specify if you want to specify, or else when you are transferring the line, you can specify the parameter. Just I'm giving here itself. Save and close. So this is how we have to create asset related invoice. So line level provide asset clearing account so that system will understand and it is tracking as asset we have seen in the distribution level. And if you want to specify this asset related invoice information you want to transfer to which corporate book, that information also you can specify in the distribution level. Now follow the standard process. Validate the invoice. If you want to transfer this asset line information to FA, so the invoice should be accounted, otherwise we cannot transfer. So create accounting for this invoice. So post to ledger. So always system will take distribution account as debit and credit account is liability. Now asset clearing account is debit, liability account is credit. And another important point, if you want to transfer asset lines from AP to FA, the invoice should be accounted. There is no rule. The accounting information need to be transferred to GL. It is not mandatory. If it is accounted, that is enough. So whether you want to transfer or not, that's our call. If you click on this, it will be transferred. If you submit create accounting job, there you can set the parameter create accounting is yes, transfer to GL as a no also you can set. Still this line can be transferred to FA. So there is no check whether the accounting entry is transferred to GL or not. Only the check is accounting is created or not. Now accounting is created for this invoice. Here we can see accounted. Same we reviewed also. Now this line we can transfer to FA. So transferring asset line from AP to FA we call as create mass addition. Let's create mass addition. To create the mass addition, go to task list. Here we have a asset section. Under that we have a task called as create mass additions. Click on create mass addition. So we are going to submit the job called as create mass addition. What it will do, you can see the description. Okay, transfer capital invoice lines distribution from Oracle Fusion payables to Oracle Fusion assets. Select till which date of asset lines you want to transfer to FA and provide asset book. Say you are using 4 asset books. Already distribution level you given specific book. Now if you select one book, with the same book, if any lines are available or distribution is available, it will pick. If you don't give any book specification in the distribution, now the eligible lines will be tagged with this book. Specifying asset book or corporate book at invoice distribution level is not mandatory, optional. But when you are trying to transfer, asset book selection is mandatory. If already you tagged with some book, that book and this book is matching, then that line will be transferred to FA. The distribution level, we have one book. Here we are trying to transfer to another book. So you cannot set. So when you select the same book which is available at distribution level here, then that line can be interfaced to FA. When you say FA, it will go to FA mass addition interface tables. So submit. Say okay. Now this line you can find from FA. So go to asset workbench. Now that invoice is available here. Invoice number, invoice amount is available as an incomplete record. So we transferred asset line from AP to FA. The process of transferring we are calling as create mass addition. Now we have to complete prepare mass addition. Prepare mass addition is nothing but we have to add the additional details to this asset line. To add the details to convert this line as asset, select this record, go to actions, click on edit. Now notice this point. Once you transfer asset lines from AP to FA, by default system is taking queue status as a new. Since you want to convert this record as asset, the queue status should be post. So change the status from new to post. And description you have to provide its asset name and any other details mandatory which are not available you can provide. System is defaulting the category. If you want to change, you can change. You want to provide specific asset key, select the key which is required. By default it is optional. You want to use, yes, you can select. And system is deriving the depreciation expense account, the combination, since that line is coming from the specific combination. Here it is taking the depreciation expense account, remaining combination it is taking from the invoice level, whatever the combination we have. And select asset line, location. Select asset location. And employee selection is optional. If you want to select, select. And based on the category, these details are reflecting. Any changes, if you want to override, yes, you can override as required. So this is how we have to update the record which is coming from AP application. This activity we are calling as prepare mass addition. We are preparing the record to create as a addition, nothing but asset. So this we are calling as prepare mass addition. So we completed prepare mass addition activity. Now say save and close. Save and close. Just notice one more point. Here is the field called as in service date, nothing but date placed in service. Okay, asset you are creating from when you are going to use this asset. Accordingly, system will calculate the depreciation. You are going to use this asset from the next month. You want to calculate depreciation. Okay, where system will consider it is a starting date. So based on our prorate convention, it will calculate. But what date you want to give for this asset as a date placed in service, that you can set here. This is the field. By default, it takes current date. Now we prepared this line. So system is reflecting that record as a ready to post. So next action is create asset, nothing but post mass additions. So click on this ready to post so that here you will find one tab called as post all so that you will be able to post it. Click on ready to post. See, certain actions you can perform from actions also. Okay, but you don't have any post option. So click on ready to post. Now the tab is enabled. Now select this record. Click on post all. It will convert this record as a asset definition. Just refresh this page to check the line converted as asset or not. Yes, converted. If it is not converted, still it should be available here. Now go to asset inquiry task. Find out assets which are available in this book under category called as ERP tree. Of course, the complete category name is ERP tree building, office building. We are just giving the prefix for the category. Yes, we can see the asset called as ERP building. And go to source lines. You can see the invoice number, even supplier name, and it is coming from which is source, Oracle Payables. So that's how we can review the source details also. Now we'll test asset merge functionality. So we'll go and create two lines within the same invoice. We'll transfer two lines to FA and we'll merge one line with another line so that you can create single asset based on the two lines. Since we are merging, system will treat it as a one. So even you are transferring multiple lines, you can create single asset by merging all the lines. So we'll go and create one asset invoice with the two asset lines. Create asset invoice. say 20 lakhs. We are going to create two lines. And provide the same account. Account is asset clearing account, which is already part of FA category. Select, say OK. Copy this combination and take into first row or first line, you can say. Done. It is not mandatory we have to specify the corporate book and distribution. Now submit this invoice for validation. Now account it. It's accounted. The next task is transfer these two lines to FA. To transfer, we have a task called as create mass additions. So provide accounting date, select asset book, submit. And switch to FA. Just wait for a moment, the data will reflect. Yes. Now two incomplete lines are available. Now we are going to merge one line with another line. Select any one of the line. Click on merge. It is marking as a parent. Say cancel, means close this pop-up. What is the message? All the lines selected for merge will be removed. Do you want to continue? No. Now select another line. Click on merge. Done. Both are merged. One line it is treating as a parent. The other line is treating as a child. Say submit. Done. Here you can notice you can change the book for the record also. So now we have only one record. Select that record. See here also it is showing one incomplete. Earlier it was showing two incomplete lines. Since we merged one line with another line, we have only one. Now we can perform the prepare mass addition only for this line. So 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Total 20 lakhs, we can create single asset. So select this record. We know how to perform the prepare mass addition. Same we are going to do now. Select, go to actions, click on edit. Here we can see invoice number is same, line 1 and line 2. Line 1 status is Q status is on hold. Line 2 status Q status is merged. Now we'll proceed with on hold only. So Q status is on hold, that change to post. And give the asset name ABC building. So make sure you have data for mandatory fields. So if you want to provide asset key, you can enter or ignore. Select location. Say okay. Just try again. Nothing wrong. Close and reopen. Select actions, edit. Select it. Say ABC building. That's all. Now say save and close. This is all about prepare mass addition. I think status we didn't change. Change queue status from on hold to post. Say save and close. Now the record status is ready to post. So click on ready to post, and here you can see post all. Select this record, say post all. Two lines we have with the 10 lakhs. So system will create asset with the 20 lakhs. Since two lines with the 10, 10, 20 lakhs, system will create asset. Just refresh by clicking on assets task. Now we don't have any record here. Click on depreciation. Click on the additions. So we have ABC building. The cost is 20 lakhs. Two lines we merged and we created single asset. So that's how we can perform the merge functionality. Now we'll see how to split one line into multiple lines. So we'll create asset invoice with a single line. We'll interface that line to FA. In FA, we'll split into multiple lines. For each line, we'll create separate asset. So switch to payables to create asset invoice. We are creating invoice with the 50 lakhs. Enter invoice amount as line amount. Select asset clearing account. So validate, account it. Now transfer this line to FA. Create mass additions. Submit. Just close this page. Go to asset workbench. The line is available. Now select the record. Go to actions. Now we are going to perform the prepare mass addition. Click on edit. Now change queue status from new to post. The description say XYZ buildings. Now select location. Now say save and close. Now we completed prepare mass addition. Now, if you click on ready to post, the tab will get enabled and you can select this record, click on post all, it will create single asset. So our requirement is we want to create this line as a multiple assets. So system will create multiple lines based on the number of units. If you want to convert this line as a 5 assets, update in this record units as a 5. So what system will do is total cost by number of units. That's how it will create assets. So now we want to create this line as a 5 separate assets. If you want to do that, you have to update the units. So based on number of units, system will create separate assets. So select the same record, go to actions, edit. So you want to create this record as how many assets that you update as a units. Say 5. So system will create 5 assets. Total cost 50 lakhs by 5. If you want to create as a 10 assets, give 10 units. So 50 lakhs by 10. So each asset it will create with 5 lakhs. So you want to create only 5 assets, give number of units as a 5. Save and close. Now select this record and click on split. It will split the total cost, system will split equally based on the units. Select this record and click on split. So system is going to split into 5 lines, each with 1 unit. Yes, proceed. Now we can see 5 records, each record with 10 lakhs. Now click on ready to post. Click on post all. Now system will create 5 assets. Each asset cost would be 10 lakhs. Refresh this page to check the status. So 5 assets created. Go to asset inquiry. So we have 5 assets. XYZ buildings, XYZ buildings, XYZ buildings, one more and one more. Total 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And description is same, but asset numbering is different. So 83, 85, right? 84, 82, 86. So we created 5 assets by splitting one line into 5 lines. So for each line we created separate asset. So that's how we can perform split functionality. will focus on remaining items in the tomorrow session. In the tomorrow session, we can focus on remaining items. Done.